It is now 20 years later since the first VW Polo GTI was introduced into the South African car market with the Mark IV Polo GTI. Over all these years, the Polo GTI just got to be more popular than the Golf GTI. More of these Polo GTIs are currently bought over the Golf, and part of the reason that led to this is the current pricing of the Golf GTI and the fact that the Polo GTI gained some improvements in terms of performance, and not only did it gain improvements in that sense, it also grew in dimensions. It is actually now bigger than it was before. Welcome to the review of the 2026 VW Polo GTI. In this video, we're going to look at the exterior and the interior design, practicality, features that you get in the car, and we're also going to focus more on performance, and later we'll discuss the cost of owning a Polo GTI. We'll also discuss if whether this makes a perfect daily car. Before we proceed with this video, please make sure that you liked this video, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. It does not actually cost you any amount of money to subscribe. It's more like following someone on other social media platforms. Coming to the exterior design, we're going to start with the front, and you get your IQ matrix headlights as standard. You no longer have to spec them, and you get your GTI badge here with a glossy black honeycomb grille, a light bar that runs across, a VW badge that is not illuminated, two fog lights on the grille, and I like this trimming that cuts into the grille. It looks absolutely good. And you also get your park distance control sensors, which do an amazing work on this car, more especially with safety features. Now, coming to the side profile, you get 18 inches alloys. These look absolutely good on this car. I would suggest that if you're buying this car, you get these ones. And you also get some red brake calipers in there, a GTI badge on the fender, and electrically adjustable mirrors. They fold and unfold as you lock the car. You get keyless entry into the vehicle. You can lock the car and unlock the car from outside without using the key fob. And you also get a door side sill, a panoramic sunroof, which looks absolutely good on the GTI. Now, coming to the back design, you get this roof spoiler that comes as standard, and you also get it on other variants of the Polo. It looks absolutely good. You get LED tail lights, you get a VW badge over here, GTI signature, park distance control sensors, and a reverse camera is embedded in here. You also get two exhaust pipes, and if you're like me, you like making noise, you better get a GTI with those two exhaust pipes, but all GTIs get those ones. On the Golf, one is on the side, one is on the other side. But on the Polo GTI, two paired together. Now, with regards to boot capacity, you get about 305 liters of boot capacity. The other variants of the Polo, the Life, the R-Line, and the entry-level TSI get 351 liters of boot capacity. The reason why this one is lesser is because the battery is put at the back as opposed to those other trims where you get the battery in front. So down the carpet, you get a space saver spare wheel, and there's also some equipment that you can use in case you are replacing a tire. Now, coming to the interior of the Polo GTI, I'm just going to take you through everything that you need to know, the features that you need to know about, and the optional extras that do exist that you can actually opt for. And here you get a touchscreen infotainment system, which is supported by Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. And to connect to it wirelessly, you need to actually get that as an optional extra, or you can opt for the Discover Media, which comes with navigation, wireless charging tray, and obviously the connection to CarPlay wirelessly so. But if you do not get all of those things, you have to connect to the CarPlay using a cord. So one other thing that I like about the Polo GTI interior, more especially the dashboard, is the positioning of the aircon air vents. They're properly positioned and you can actually use them with ease. And coming down here, you get a 2-zone climate control and you do actually get an option for heated seats. They come as standard, and we'll get to that in a bit. If you actually opt for the Discover Media, like I said, you get inductive charging, and you can still get this feature without going for the Discover Media. Most of the Polo GTIs do not have the Discover Media, but they still have that. So if you go through the specification sheet, which I'll put the link in the description below, you'll actually see how you can get some of these features. They're actually packaged in different ways. Some you get this, you don't get that, but I'll actually put it for you in the description below. And over here you get a storage compartment, a glove box over there. This is not a storage to hide dangerous things, but just to put your essentials. And over there you get an icon air vent, and the door panel over there looks absolutely good, and everything is properly integrated right there. You get leather seats with the GTI badge engraved on them. They are perforated, if you can see over there, and they are actually heated depending on how hot you want it. That is the highest degree, and this is the lowest degree. So that is quite nice. You get two USB Type-C charging ports over there, and on the center console everything looks properly integrated as well. You get keyless start over here, which comes as an optional extra as well. And to get this, you have to opt for the Comfort Park package, which is going to come with keyless start, keyless entry into the vehicle, park assist, as well as a reverse camera. It is unfortunate how in a Polo GTI you still get a physical handbrake, but you get a 12-volt power socket over here, two cup holders, which are actually small. They are not actually decently sized. And then over here you get a sliding center armrest with a storage compartment over there. But what I actually don't like is that this part is cloth. If you are not actually a neat person, you might actually have this dirty most of the time. But I saw on the Edition 20 Polo GTI they have this part leather wrapped, which is actually good. The Polo GTI comes standard with this leather-wrapped multifunction steering wheel with physical buttons, and they've actually done away with the haptic touch after a lot of people complained since 2022 that the haptic touch was not user-friendly. And over here the leather is perforated, which actually makes it good to handle. And you get some red stitchings over here, a red trimming over here, which actually shows you that this is a GTI. And just behind the steering wheel you get some pedal shifters, and they're quite nice to use. Over there you get a digital cockpit, which you can actually customize the information profiles. And unfortunately the door is open, but I'll put an overlay to show you how everything works. And just to give you a bit of orientation on these buttons and their meaning, this is for adaptive cruise control. Most of the Polo GTIs do not come with adaptive cruise control, and I'll later explain how you get to have the adaptive cruise control, because it comes as a package as well. And this is a speed limiter, cruise control, and as well as the IQ drive system, the travel assist, and these are for the cruise control. And over here you have your media volume buttons, and even on the other side. Now coming to the back seats, you might actually think that you do not have sufficient leg room, but in actual fact you do actually have sufficient leg room, and that is my driving position. That is actually decent space. Remember, this is a Polo GTI, but if you could still get that much of space, it means it is more sufficient, and you can actually have your passengers seated comfortably in here, and you still get the leather seats with some red stitchings to actually show you that it's a GTI. The unfortunate part is that you do not get a center armrest with two cup holders over there as you hold in other cars, and you do obviously get your ISOFIX points for your child seat. Over here you get two USB Type-C charging ports without aircon air vents, and you get a transmission tunnel over there, which might actually make it difficult for someone sitting in the middle. Very soon I'm just going to demonstrate how I sit comfortably at the back of this car. Yes, I'm not the tallest person, but I sit comfortably. So this is a demonstration of how comfortably I can sit at the back of a Polo GTI, and I've got sufficient leg room and headroom. So the space at the back of a Polo GTI is most definitely sufficient. And I'll also show you my driving position, because I'm a Polo driver. Obviously the seat is a little bit towards the back seat. Now this is what the Polo GTI looks like at night, and you can see it's a Polo GTI with the two fog lights. The light bar lights up, and the two fog lights also light up, which actually looks absolutely good. The LED IQ Matrix headlights are so brilliant, they brighten up road signs as you drive, trees or any objects on the side of the road, and they also self-adjust to accommodate oncoming drivers. Now, coming to the interior of the Polo GTI, the car comes standard with a single colored ambient light on the dashboard, extending a little bit into the front doors, but you also get photo lighting, which you can't also change the color. But what you can obviously do is to change how bright you want it. You can do some brightness adjustments on the infotainment system. So with regards to performance, this car is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine producing 147 kilowatts as well as 320 Newton meters of torque. It is paired to a 6-speed DSG transmission, and with regards to fuel consumption, you are looking at 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers as claimed by VW. But the truth of the matter is that you'll find yourself above 8 liters per 100 kilometers, more especially if you're going to be driving on sport mode or even normal, because normal mode is actually very sufficient in terms of performance. So you might actually find yourself on those figures. And on the other side, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, you can do it in about 6.4 seconds, which is almost the same to that of the Golf 7 GTI. And that is why the Polo GTI has too much potential when coming to chowing the car on track. And I feel like if you want the Golf 7 GTI for that performance, 160 something kilowatts, you might as well go for the Polo GTI because it gives you relatively the same performance. The other thing that we need to talk about is the choice of the wheels, because they then affect the performance on your car. And more especially if you are going to put the 17 inches alloys, they actually handle very much well, but they are not meant for performance. I'll actually put a clip and explain what I mean by that. The low profile 18 inches, more especially the Faro or the Adelaide ones on the Black Style Edition, they give you a full grip on the road. If you've been watching the video up to this point, please just make sure that you subscribe, and this is the best content that I can deliver. Where else can you watch a review like this of the Polo GTI? Well, I'm just digressing, but please do subscribe. So one of the other things that I need to talk about is the sport suspension on this car. So when you put your car into sport mode, it actually stiffens the suspension, which allows you to take some curves aggressively. So, and that is quite nice. I'll actually put overlays demonstrating what I'm talking about. And it's actually a very, very nice experience, which makes the GTI different from the Polo GTIs. I mean, from the Polo TSIs, because those ones are meant for comfort and, you know, just economical rides. But this one is more of performance. Now let's talk about the safety features that you get on the Polo GTI. The first thing that I want us to talk about is the NCAP rating. And the Polo GTI holds a 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating. And if you do not know what this is all about, they simply crash a car at various speeds in various conditions to see if you and your passengers will be safe, from adults to children. So this is actually most reliable information that you can use to see if a car is safe. And you'll also get a total of 6 airbags as standard, which will include front, side, and curtain airbags. With regards to braking systems, you'll get anti-lock braking system, electronic stability control, electronic brake force distribution, as well as autonomous emergency braking. A reverse camera does not come as standard, and you have to pay a whole 5,650 rands if you want it alone. Alternatively, you can opt for the Comfort Park package, which gives you keyless entry into the vehicle, keyless start, park assist, as well as a rear view camera for 16,600 rands. So we'll discuss more of this when we talk about the pricing of the Polo GTI. So if there's one safety feature that I can recommend for you to get on your Polo GTI is the safety package for DSG with travel assist, and it's going to give you adaptive cruise control with speed limiter, lane keeping assist with traffic jam assist, a multifunction camera, pedestrian protection, and forward collision warning, including autonomous emergency braking. Now let's talk about the pricing of the Polo GTI and how deep it can dive into your pockets if you decide to own one. And later in the video, you'll let me know if this price is worth it for a Polo GTI and what car can you possibly buy for the same amount of money. Brand new. I'm deliberately saying brand new because someone will come and say a 2010 Porsche Carrera or something along those lines. A standard Polo GTI is retailing for 585,800 rands, and this price excludes optional extras, maintenance plans, and all of that. But if you're going to add a sunroof, you're going to pay 15,800 rands, 18 inches faro alloys, 10,000 rands, leather seats, 11,500 rands, the Discover Media with navigation, 8,300 rands, safety package for DSG, 10,900 rands, Comfort Park package, 16,600 rands. This Polo GTI, which is basically our channel car, is fitted with all those optional extras, and the total for all these extras comes down to 73,100 rands, and we have not yet included the dealership fees, and the total price of this Polo GTI will come down to 658,900 rands. On a monthly basis, if you finance it for 72 months at an interest rate of 11%, no balloon, no deposit, you can look at paying around 12,600 rands. With insurance, we can estimate plus minus 2,000 rands, and if you're going to use this car as your daily car, you might actually spend a minimum of 5,000 rands on a monthly basis. There was a month I spent a whole 8,000 rands on this car on fuel. So you must actually be prepared if you're going to buy a Polo GTI because it's a performance car, and there are some days where you won't even want to drive on eco mode. If you're also going to factor in a tracking device, you might actually spend somewhere between 300 rands to 500 rands, and that might bring your cost of ownership to at least 20,000 rands on a monthly basis. So now let's have a conversation in the comment section. What car can you possibly buy for 658,000 brand new that is better than a Polo GTI? I actually want to hear your perspective. Do actually comment and let us know what car you can possibly buy. Remember, we're speaking about brand new cars or just recent pre-owned cars. Yes, the price of the Polo GTI is a bit high, but that is not to say the car is overpriced. Cars are just very expensive nowadays. Even buying a Picanto is just very expensive. Thank you for watching this video. Please make sure that you liked this video and you have also subscribed. You can also tell me in the comment section how you feel about this review.